Hello. Spark of
Hello.
Inspiration number two. Welcome, Master Asha.
Thank you. Thank you for welcoming me. Thank you for sharing time with me for a second time. And yeah.
It's really a pleasure. And today, I really wanted to invite you with the clear intention to, to show you to show people what kind of powerful spark of inspiration are you. So, would you be so kind and start with who you are, what is your mission, and then who are you looking for, on your path, who can join your path, and also how can members of our community, beautiful badass souls, support you on this journey.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
stage
Thank
is
you.
yours.
Thank you for giving me this time to be able to express myself and share what happened in this journey that shaped me. My name was not always Asha. I grew up called Sebastian. And I was a very happy child. I loved everything. I was passionate about everything. I had a lot of very weird passions and weird. Hello, Stacy.
Hi, Stacy.
And yeah, as I was growing up, things happened. Hey, and I felt very
Meet your
connected
friend.
to nature, to spirits. But then all of that has been suppressed. My parents were Christian. They didn't believe in all of these things, and they preferred not to have a child who was speaking to energies as things. Then, when I was a teenager, things started to get a bit troublesome because I was being bullied at school. I was the one target for a large school, and my parents really loved that school because it was one of the top three schools of Belgium. I was wearing a uniform there, and they thought it was the open doors for a career for becoming someone important. And they really wanted me to succeed there. But as I was not feeling accepted there, I started to develop like very rebellious. Oh, it was a
We
bell.
can. Okay.
Um, Very rebellious behaviors that led me to start consuming drugs and do anything I could, to become like the most popular kid. I started looking at kids around me and I was like, oh, the popular kids, they're the ones who just do the bad things. I started getting tattoos and I was like, this is gonna be me. And there was a way of protecting myself from the bullies. And like, I'm gonna be the coolest guy. I'm gonna be the most dangerous guy. So like this, I don't have to be scared of people. That led me to start a criminal life. I realized that the drugs I was consuming could make me money and easy money because when you're in your 20s, uh, a lot of kids want to take drugs because it's fun and we don't know what are consequences of consuming. Um, so yeah, I went on that journey where from one side, I was very talented in anything I would do. But then on the other side, I would self-sabotage and destroy any success I would do. But then, that was part of my identity. I was like, oh, I'm so humble. I don't want to have a title. I just want to do the things and show that I can do it. Yet I would do a lot of things where I could receive rewards, but I was always, like being this, if I would do a concourse, I would be disqualified or things like that. So I did create a lot of things that could have given me a higher status, but always self-sabotage it. And after 10 years of this life, one day I woke up and I took a line of cocaine and I started crying and I was fed up of that life. I couldn't take it anymore. I was taking drugs every day. I was destroying myself. And I went to see a psychologist and she told me, oh, you don't have a, hey, Jan, you're not a junkie. You have ADHD. and we have prescription drugs for you. And I was like, hey, my problem is drugs. Your solution is drugs. That's not working for me. And I remember at the time I was in my apartment in Brussels, and I watched this video of a monk, and that monk said, if you don't have 2 minutes for meditation, you need to put 20 minutes for meditation. And it really struck me because I had a 2 minute attention span, and I was like, fuck, I cannot sit down for 2 minutes and just do nothing. I need to do something. And I was addicted to Red Bull, to cocaine, to weed, to tobacco, to everything that would just me get me high. And I started doing meditation, but it was very difficult. So I started doing hypnosis, which is amazing because all you have to do is plug in the earphones and then listen, and someone is helping you feel better. Started doing this for like 2, 3 years. I started traveling. I ran away from that life that I was living. I realized that being somewhere else would not solve the problem, that the problems were within myself. And one day I went into an ashram when I was in India, and that's where I received the name of Asha. After meditating for hours, I've been offered to do a rebirth ceremony and get a new name. And Asha means hope, hence Asha hope.
Beautiful.
And there in this ashram, I discovered that being a master hypnotist and doing mindfulness was a career path. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like I can make money from what I'm doing all the day. I can make money from meditating. I can make money from, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I want to do that. And I realized that all the people who were living surrounding me before, they needed that too. All the people who were buying drugs from me, they needed that support, that help. And I was like, okay, I know what to do. And I want to do that journey. And that was just the first step. I stopping quitting drugs and starting meditation and building a business was the first step because when I say consuming drugs, all the stress and anxiety was being covered up. When I stopped taking drugs, it all showed up, and my life just became very difficult because I had no stability. Drugs gave me some stability. It gave me some capacity to live to manage that stress. And I went to different stage of rock bottoms because I was struggling so much to focus, to do things, to be grounded, to be disciplined, to have direction. Um, and my business was just going up and down, and I was making a lot of money, then I was losing everything. I just kept believing that these practices would help me. And I kept doing it and kept doing it. And everybody was like, you have to find a job, you have to stop this bullshit. And I'm like, no, I want to believe in me. And at many points, I thought I should stop, I should, listen to these people. But I was very stubborn. And I'm very proud of myself for being stubborn because it paid off. And if anybody here is struggling right now and they're in that jigsaw of like making and then just falling back into it. Just keep on believing yourself because if there's this thing that is so amazing that feels within you that this is your calling, just believe in that. And I remember I've seen a lot of people saying the same thing I'm saying, like just keep on believing in yourself, like. And now, after having gone to this province, after being kicked out 3 times in a row because I was not able to pay the rent, after like doing sales calls on the sidewalk, catching the Wi-Fi of a closed restaurant, I was really doing that. And going through all of these things and really showing and proving that no matter how hard it would be, I would still do it. Because I believe that if I don't do it, the world will miss something. I know that there are so many people who benefit from having a session with me. So many people, and going through all these problems and keeping believing in myself, create a resilience. creating a stress resistance, I know that I can go through shit. And so now, when people who are going through shit comes to me, I can tell them with confidence, with certainty, that they will go through it, that there is light on the other side of the tunnel. And so if you are in that position of like, I'm struggling, I'm suffering, keep on going because there is light on the other side of the tunnel. And that's why I got the name of Asha, because Asha means believing in the good outcome while being in the worst situation. And I can tell you, I've been to some worst of situation. I have situation where I had a gun pointed on my face, and that gun was hired by my best friend, So like things that I wouldn't want even my worst enemy to have. You can always come out of a situation. Every storm that you're going through will end at one point. And every moment of sunshine will end at one point too. And that's what we need to learn in life is that it's all about moving forward and always
Sure.
finding the way to move forward. And so now I'm very happy because I have the privilege to have gone through many storms, to have gone through many deserts, physical, literal, mental. Like I've been to places where I had nothing, I had everything, and I know. And I have so much gratitude for everything because losing everything made me realize how much worth there is. Losing the trust of my family, when I went into cocaine addiction, I could see my family was not trusting me. When I went to bankrupt after making a lot of money, after posting picture of myself on social media, like I made 50K, I have a villa in Bali, I was having this stereotypical successful life on social media, and then having to call my friends and say, hey, can you send me $50? Like I can't eat. I have to choose between the laundry, the gasoline, or the food. That was really at this point of my life, my weekly choice was like to find $20 or more. If I had $20, I had to choose between the laundry, the gasoline, or the food. And that was my choice. And if I had more, I had less. I could do more. But like after showing an image of myself, like I'm super successful, and then having to ask to send messages to my friends, hey, can I borrow you like $20? I don't know when I'm gonna be able to give it back. Losing trust from all the friends I had, and I really learned to like it's okay, you can go through it, and that's okay. And the moment I started paying back my debt, and seeing that the real friends were like, like I'm happy that you can do it. It took you the 2 years. That's okay. What matters is that you can do it now. And you really, when you go through the hard times, you can really see who are the people who really you can keep close to you. So now what I do is really use what I've learned to help people feel better. You know, I learned and I trained and I mastered myself to be able to use my voice to shape the sound of my voice in such a way that it clicks something within the mind of people, and then they start believing in themselves. They start believing in the power that they have within themselves, because all the power that exists within your life, all the power that you have is just here now, taking action, taking that what you have here and giving it to someone, making that movement of energy from you to someone you can help. And that's all you have to do to feel your power. When you can help someone, there's no doubt about you having power. It's easy. It feels good. So the more you can help people, the more you generate gratitude, and the more you feel good because you receive that gratitude. We live in a soup of energy, and we receive the energy from other people, but we can influence that energy. If you smile to someone, And even if they hate you for smiling, you can still keep smiling to them. You can still send back whatever you receive with love. And that is a huge way to make your life better. Is accept anything that people give to you with love and give it back. And now I really want to be able to help people forget about the stress, the anxiety they have about money. Because that is just an idea. And at the core of this idea, it's social anxiety. All your money problems, all your abundance problems, they are just social anxiety problems. Because you don't owe money to a tree. You don't ask money to a dog. Money only exists between two humans. And money just represents your ability to connect with others. It's a physical way to represent the way you feel about asking to a stranger something. The more you feel good about it, the less you need the money. And the more money you get because you don't need it, like the money just comes. But that's all, like you need to understand that the more you put yourself into your heart and you want to give something positive to others, the more you will create abundance within your life. Because if you send that positive energy to someone, anyone, it will come back to you. Just ask yourself, what can I give to people? How can I make their life easier? How can I make them happier? In any way, it could be just with your attention, just by doing prayers or by doing something that you love that's going to help them feel better. I know that when I do hypnosis, I just enjoy it. I just love doing it. It's just like it makes me feel good because I feel empowered. And I know that, on the other side, the person will also be empowered, will also feel good. And I've never seen someone come out of a session being like, oh my God, I'll never do it again. There's always like a smile and some sort of surprise of like, wow, this is powerful. It's so simple. Like the guy is just whispering to my ears. So when you accept that by giving positivity to others, it will come back to you in any shape or form that you require or we want. You can ask for money in return. You can just ask for nothing in return. But then you have that bank of good karma that is growing. So all the problems that you have related to money, they're related to the way you relate with other humans. And that is something that I wish people could understand because they think it's about them. It's not about you. It's about the relationship you have with others. Because you're not making money on your own. People who live on an isolated island, they don't make money. They don't have banks. Money is a way of exchange. Money represents, for people who cannot sense energy, it represents the energy exchange between people. And if there is financial debt at a global level, it's because the energy exchange between people is not positive. We exchange negative energy, hate. If we want to solve the global financial crisis, it's not about making better business. It's not about banks. It's not about the system. It's about loving each other. If I give positive energy, like love, appreciation, kindness to others, that will multiply. You always want to be around the people who makes you feel good. That's positive. You want to push away the people who make you feel bad. And you always can make anyone feel good. It's a decision. So the decision of asking yourself, what do I love about this person? I don't know Stacy, but I know that she has an amazing t-shirt. I'm very curious about seeing how beautiful it is. I don't know Roy. Oh, I can see more. There's a person there. Yeah. I don't know Roy, but I see that he has an amazing smile. Yeah. I don't know Jan, but he's showing up, which is a proof of goodwill. It's very nice. I don't know so much Anya, but I know she has a desire to make something beautiful with her community. So I decided right now to just pick one thing that is obvious to these people and just bring some appreciation to it, and send energetically something positive. But you don't even have to know the people to send positive energy. And I really had this tremendous experience and this privilege to be living in a sacred place for 15 months. During 15 months, I was living in a monastery. And that monastery has, on average, 5 people living in it. There's 3 people who are residents, and they have 1 to 2 guests. And I had the privilege to be one of these guests. It was a tremendous experience where I did a lot of spiritual cleansing, spiritual healing. A lot of my karma has been cleared out, and I didn't want to believe that I had a lot of negative karma. I had some dreams in the beginning that showed me that I was not the good guy I thought I was. And one of the things we did every day for 15 minutes was reciting the mantra Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, which roughly means, may all beings be happy and healthy. In the beginning, uh, as someone who had a lot of ego, I was just participating to these practices. But then one day I asked myself, can I really devote myself to these practices? Because whatever is happening, I am here. And for some reason, energetically, I felt that was really stuck there. And one day I started thinking about all the people I could help. I started thinking about all the people I knew and really dedicating that 15 minutes of prayer to them. And something magical happened. Business started blooming. My friends started sending me messages. I realized that every time I would have some problems with someone, some itchiness with conversation, I would just think about that person and do that prayer. And then it would just soften. It doesn't always, give you the results you want. Maybe you want someone to text you back and they don't. But then the energetical tension is not there anymore. The pain that was between you is not there. We cannot control the outcome, but we can resolve some issues. And we don't need the other to resolve the issue. We need our desire to resolve our part of the problem. Because in everything we manifest, we are 50% responsible. And what we can do is resolve the 50% of what we are responsible. And by doing that, and then by putting in my business the intention to help people, to give and just give, knowing that at one point I will receive. And it's a difficult bet, because I come from a background where you have to push people to buy. It's like, hey, whatever I'm giving you, you're gonna have to pay me for something at one point, like the no string attached, hey, I'm giving you a free call, no string attached. Which really makes you think like, what are the strings here? But then you really learn to just give and knowing that everybody doesn't have to give you back what you expect. That people will give you back something that will lead you somewhere else. And what you expect will be there. And that is the beauty of life, because if you knew everything that would happen, life would not be amazing, it would be boring, if you read a book 10 times, you know what's gonna happen, there's no more surprise. That's why life is interesting, that we don't know exactly what will happen. We know that there are things that are certain. We know that gravity is there. We know that it's gonna be raining in one of the days that's coming, but we don't know when exactly. And that makes it more interesting. So setting this positive intention, wanting to give to everybody, and then allowing the flow of abundance through the energy of love. Make that your business is on that channel, the channel of love. And there's a circulation of energy that is going through people. And then you feel abundant. Because the more you give, the more abundant you are. because you focus on what you have. I have an unlimited amount of hypnosis within me. Until I die, I can give hypnosis. I could literally give 150 hypnosis in a day because I can have 150 people in front of me and give them. It's unlimited, you know. When I'm focusing on how much hypnosis I have within me, I can give, I feel abundant. And when I feel abundant, I'm not thinking about how much money is on my bank account. I'm not thinking about what's going to happen in 1 week. I'm thinking about how much I can give. The more I'm feeling abundant, the less I'm stressed. And the more people want to give me what I'm reflecting, the more people want to give me money. And I bet on that. And it works, you know. It does work because now I'm having money and I know that if like next 3 months, if I stop working, I can still live without worrying about it, with a good quality of life, you know, and I'm being super grateful. You know, I'm going to the supermarket, I'm buying the best food I can, and I'm taking hours to cook. And then at one point, I'm like, okay, I probably have to work now, you know. So you can really live abundantly in this world and focus on having positive energy, and the rest will happen. And that's what I wanna say for today. And if you want to have an experience with me, I will be super happy to share you the gift I have because it's a real gift, you know. It's a gift in the sense of like I want to gift it to you for you to be pleased, you know, and for you just to enjoy it.
Amazing. Amazing, Asha. This was so profound and I felt every single word. So thank you for sharing yourself in this conversation. It it's really, really powerful. Like everything what you said and what you emit, it's so genuine, so authentic, and I can feel your open heart. So that's why it's so easy for us also to connect. And everyone else here. So Stacy, I saw Roy. Yeah, that he entered. Jan is here. Uh, do you maybe have any questions for Asha? Any of you?
No, no questions. Everything was felt. So I appreciate your time and your energy and sharing your
Yeah.
positivity. So thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you. Jan, Roy, maybe from your side.
Hey, no questions on my part either. And just I saw you posted it in Skool. I'm like, oh yeah, I pop in and say hello. You know,
Hi. Hi, good to
I
see you
really,
here. I mean, you're here for a reason. You know that we are all always wherever we find ourselves, we are here for a reason. So maybe bits and pieces, you know, that they're here hiding for you as well.
sure.
Um, thank you, Roy. Thank you. Um, Asha, one question. How come that you focus, like, what were you guided to start supporting people with, you know, like with the awareness about money and financial abundance? And how do you see where is evolving? Like, if everybody would know or would be doing what you are doing, what would the world look like, in your opinion?
well, I was mentioning, you know, like we would remove all the problems of debt, you know, like uh, when we're looking on level of the chakra, for example, like you know, if we all start living in the heart chakra is connected to the element of the air, you know, so air pollution, you know, would be removed, you know, all the excess that we're seeing is sign of an imbalance, you know. So we would stop all of these exploitation of natural resources, and we would be more respectful of them. We would I love stress would be removed, you know. So one of the reason I feel called to that is because I suffered a lot from that. You know, I come from a family that is um, pretty financially abundant, but not abundant in the sense of like the energy, right? And I saw all that wealth, but I didn't see the connection of abundance. I didn't see that connection to abundance, and I really suffer from that. And I think I really been inspired by some coaches when I was living in Bali. I met this coach that was a wealth and intimacy coach, And I thought it was very interesting, and I was wondering what is the connection between wealth and intimacy, and that's what I'm sharing here, is that our ability to connect with each other is our ability to create abundance. Abundance is a movement between two opposites. It's the creation, there is nothing, and then there's a creation to something. Something disappears, it becomes black matter again, and then it's created again, So it's a movement between opposites. What really got me there is to understand that the more we will be able to heal ourselves, the more connected we will be, and the more beautiful it will be. I think at one point money will disappear because it will be not necessary. But until that point, we just need to have a better relationship with it. And until then, I think like what I want to do is help people stop stressing about it, because the more people stress about something, the more difficult it becomes. Then, when you stop stressing about it, you have it, but you don't need it. And that's the most beautiful thing. And the moment where no one's going to need it, that's the moment when it's going to be disappearing. But the more people would stop needing and having a lot of it, the more we will be able. I just gave 1,200 to a friend recently because he's working with me, and I felt so good because like I know he needs it and I don't need it, and I need more of it for other things, but that amount I don't need it, so I can give it and I can relieve the stress of people. And when we all know that it is something that we imagine and create ourselves. It's literally, like paper with drawings. It's nothing more than paper with drawings. But we created such attachment to it. And we forget that we are creating. We're creating with our imagination. Same way as I wrote on this paper and I created. So we can create money very easy. And when we get conscious of the power we have of creating anything we want, things become so easy. Clearly, there are like some rules of karma that is orienting us to make that journey more interesting. Because if we had the whole creative power of God, it would be too easy, and we make it a little bit harder so we can, have a journey that is more interesting. My goal is really to help people remove themselves from that suffering. Because when we are in abundance, when we think about how much we can give to people, we will remove the suffering simply because suffering exists in I. I am not enough. I cannot do it. I don't deserve it. We never think like you don't. I'm never gonna think like you don't deserve it. I'm not gonna think you're not enough. Like when a friend is sending me a message like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm late." I'm like, "Yeah, no, I don't care, man. I don't think you're late. You're thinking you're late. You're thinking that you should send me a message earlier, or you're thinking that I don't think it. So yeah, putting that positivity in the mind of people, getting them to understand how it is easy to be grounded in that peacefulness. And it just requires us to make the firm decision to go on that path and to keep on believing. And the difficult thing with meditation is that you don't have like a physical representation of how much stress you can hold. Like when you're going to the gym, you lift weights and you get stronger, and you can lift more. With meditation, is the same thing. When you start feeling better, but there's still more stress to hold. And the more you do meditation, I went to the point of doing 3 hours of meditation per day, and that got me a cushion to absorb stress, and I can really hold so much more of it right now. And I understand that meditation is a muscle, and when we have that muscle that is very well developed, we can hold more stress, which allows us to be more grounded. And being grounded allows us to manifest. Manifestation is not about being here and imagining things. It's bringing these things here. It's really bringing them in the body, being in the moment, and taking the actions that make the manifestation happen. And that is really the part that a lot of people are missing. It's like, oh, we want to be here, we want to be here. No, we want to come back down here and being guided when we are in the physical body towards what we want to manifest. Because what we want to manifest already exists. Generally, we want to manifest something that we've seen. Oh, I've seen this guy having a nice house, or I've seen this guy living at the beach. I've seen this guy having this jacket, and I want something similar. So we often we're creating from what we already know. And from time to time, we're gonna create something totally new, but that will still be an association of something that already exists with something or else that exists. So what we want is there. And when we are in the present moment, we're being guided by our intuition. People often use the word synchronicity. And if we break down the word, there's sync, which means being connected, and chronos, which means time. Synchronicity means being connected with time. Being connected with time is the present moment, here and now. So if you want to have more synchronicities, what you need to do is to be in your body. And when you are in the body and you allow the divine flow to go through you, you're gonna have the desire to go somewhere, to go to a cafe, or maybe to stay somewhere for a longer time. And then somehow that opportunity will come to you. It's like, oh my God, what a synchronicity. Because you were in the time, you were not thinking. Your thinking will always want you to have this pattern, this rhythm. When you're in the time, your body is being guided by these energies, the energy that you're manifesting. And you are at the right time, at the right moment, at the right place. So it's just as simple as that. Bringing yourself more in the body and less into the manifestation, and just really going with that flow.
Amazing. Thank you. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Okay, another question. You said that you are focusing mostly on men. I mean, you would like to support men in
Yeah.
really activating this abundant codes, like I
Yeah.
see it. Yeah. So why did you decide? Like, were you guided? Did you get a message? Hey, you have to support men, or how do you see it? Thank you.
Why do I want to help men? Because there's also a huge crisis of masculinity. We have lost touch with what it means to be a man and to go through the death of the child, like when we go through adolescence, we're supposed to become a man through development of our physical body. The hormones are supposed to be growing. We're supposed to become men through different stages. However, in the world we live in, education, the food we're eating is preventing from that development to happen. And a lot of people are suffering from that. There's a lot of men who are lacking assertiveness, they're lacking strength. And then we're just like, we just wonder what it means to be a man because we don't feel it within ourselves. We haven't been through that development. We haven't been through that growth. And I've been lucky to have been exposed to very difficult times in my life that have forced me to go through that growth. I was literally facing a wall when I was on the other side of the planet, and I didn't have any resources anymore. And I really had to find within myself what I could do, and I really find resourcefulness within myself. I really find that I could go through all these difficult times. And I went through them, and I realized that I started trusting in my power, in my force. And I know there's still so much more I can get. And at one point, I started really feeling animalistic. And a lot of people are speaking about the dark masculine. Something that, when I was seeing these videos, they're like, wow, you have to go into your dark masculine. And I was like, what is that? And I really felt that monster within me. And I understood that why it was being tamed when I was younger is because if you don't have control of yourself, you don't have control of your testosterone, you're just becoming dangerous. But when you learn to master yourself through these practices, that beast that is within yourself is there. And you can use your anger, but not as anger, as assertiveness. Like I was in the ice bath the other day, and there was this guy who was scared of entering into the ice bath, and he was just putting his feet inside and removing. And at one point, I told him, "No, you get into the ice bath and you shut up." He did it. He stayed for a few minutes, and when he left, he just thanked me for giving him an order and being very assertive, very direct. And there's this nice guy syndrome, and a lot of men are falling into that trap of like wanting to be nice. And I've been there. I've thought that by being kind, by being nice, I would get stuff, but it doesn't work really. People don't trust you. But when you are able to show that you can be dangerous, people trust you more, and people feel safer with you. Like when you know that in certain case you can be aggressive, there are people who trust you and who know that you will not misuse that aggressiveness. They will feel safer with you, and I feel safer with myself knowing that if someone is on substance and is being aggressive, then I can kick them out. I feel also safer, and I can make other people safer. So it's really about understanding how to master yourself. And there's a whole scope of what it means to be a man that I kind of understand now, but I don't understand what it means to be a woman. So that's why I feel more drawn to helping men, even though I help a lot of women as well, because the grounding I have, the stability I have created within myself and within my life is also making women feel safe. And I am also able to help some of them by bringing that energy, by holding space. It is also something I've learned by being more grounded and having more capacity with myself to what it means to hold space, to be able to have someone that is extremely stressed and bring them to the same level of calmness that I can embody. It's not easy all the time. Yesterday, I had a person that was very stressed, and I felt like, whoa, that was shaking me. But I've been able to bring him into a state of stability. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Jan, Daniel, do you maybe have any questions for Asha? You're a
Yeah.
man.
When was the point for you when you switched, from this mental, how can I say, shaping of the manifestation to the more grounded work that you basically started doing, that you start doing things like that you were not, how can I say, destructive, but that you were getting more productive in abundance.
Yeah. Yeah. What is the question about? I didn't get.
So yeah, when was the switch? When was the switch?
When was the switch?
Yeah. How was
Okay.
the switch? How did you make this switch? Like that
Okay.
you started to give to people, to give this good energy that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Because you were at that 15 months. It was 15 months in a
Yeah.
monk state.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that period, I think that you were experiencing something that it was difficult for you, a difficult
Yeah.
period. Yeah.
The switch came, I think it was in last September. I really started asking myself, what can I do, to energetically change like this? And yeah, I've done a lot, and I've done a lot of mistake, and I learned from my mistake, and I realized, okay, so what can I do? Because at one point when I started my business again, I was really in the mentality of like I need to make sales. I need to bring money within my bank account. And I was focusing on what I don't have. I was focusing on the money. I was getting on calls with people. And I'm like, you have to give me money because I don't have money and I want money. That was my mindset. But then I realized after a few weeks that I felt drained. I felt like I was running after money. After I felt like I was pushing people. And at one point, I need to change my strategy. And I started asking myself, how did I help my clients make money? And then I was like, oh, they're not thinking about what they don't have. They're thinking about what they have. And I started thinking, what do I have? What do I have that I can give so much that's never gonna stop? And as I said, I can give hypnosis all the time because that's within me and I can create it on the go. Can give hypnosis now, I can give hypnosis tomorrow, and I will do it, and it's gonna happen. So that is the thing. I shifted my focus on what do I have right now that I can give to others, instead of thinking of what I don't have.
Beautiful, very powerful perspective. Yeah. When we're talking about money, I mean, there are so many layers. And for example, now when you are meeting people and when you are sharing, because you are overflowing with your hypnosis and you are sharing, your energy openly with people, do you see some kind of pattern? Like, do they come to you with similar challenges? For example, like, can you talk a little bit more about this?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like the main problem is anxiety. As I mentioned, to manifest thing, we need to be grounded.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're anxious, we have an amount of energy that is coming within our body and that is making us want to take action. But these actions, they're scattered. Like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and we're not centered. When we are in our body, we feel grounded, and that creates confidence. Like right now, I have nothing special, but I feel good. I feel confident. There's nothing that can shake me. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I don't know what's gonna happen, 1 week. But right now, I'm grounded in my body, and I know that everything that is around me exists, and I have a certainty, and that is creating a sense of confidence. And I know that if I'm listening to someone, I will be able to catch what they're saying. I will be able to understand if I can help you or not, if I can help them or not. And knowing by just listening to them if I can help them or not will allow me to either spend more time with them in order to make a sale or just to move on to someone else. So being in the present moment is the most important thing people need to do in order to make more money, because that allows them to be in connection with all their five senses. And the five senses are catching a vast amount of information. And when you want to make sales, you need to analyze the person through your five senses. And when you analyze a person, you can understand where they are. You can feel their energy, and you understand, oh, this person, they're just starting and they're just worried about what they're gonna do in the next 2 weeks. They just need to discover who they are through their work. Or you can just feel that someone, well, they're stressed, but they have everything they need and they're adopting about themselves. So they will go on a sales call with you because they just want to feel reassured by talking to someone. Are you gonna be able to sense that this person has a problem and they need urgently to solve it? And then you can make a decision on who you're gonna give your attention to. That makes the whole difference between someone who's making sales and someone who's not making sales. Someone who's making sales will give their energy to the person who wants to change now. And I used to do that mistake. I used to find people who were hesitating. I'm like, should I start a business? Should I hire a coach or not? And I would just want to motivate them, like, yeah, you can do it, you can. And I would just give them so much energy. And I would just like give. And I was like, oh, people don't want to buy from me. It's not people that don't want to buy from me. It's that I'm giving my energy to the wrong people. If someone doesn't want ice cream and you have ice cream, you're gonna think that no one wants to buy your ice cream. Like, what's the problem with my ice cream? There's no problem with your ice cream. The problem is that you're trying to sell ice cream to people who are looking for chocolate. That is one pattern. The other pattern is that people forgot that they can have anything they want, literally anything they want, and that's all. Everything that is around you, look around you and look at everything that exists here has been manifested. It might be created by another human being, but in some form you manifest it into your life. So if you can manifest a water bottle like this, Why can't you manifest paper like this? If you can manifest keys, just take a moment and ask yourself, what have you manifested that you wanted in the last few days? Like today, I created sushis. I manifested the rice, I manifested the ingredients, and I created sushis. I wanted this. A simple thing. I wanted this and I got it. I want it, I get it. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I wanted this kiwi and I got it. Simple things. And when we find gratitude for all these things, simple things, we find that we cannot be scared when we're grateful. Like, and that's something you can train yourself. Every time you buy something, be grateful for it. Every time you buy something, be grateful for it. Take a moment, join your hands. And I think it's important to join your hands to really have this physical touch, because you ground this feeling within your body and say, thank you for this kiwi. Thank you for this gym membership. Thank you for this laptop. Thank you for this Zoom membership. Being grateful for everything that is being given to you, because if you resent something, if you're not happy for something you have, it will want to go away. You have energetically, you have to think of as everything as something that is alive. Energy is alive. And if you say to your water bottle that you bought that I don't like you, it's not gonna stay in your life. If you say something to someone, I don't like you, they will make your life harder. If they stay, they will make your life harder. But if you say I love you all the time, they will love and they will feel it. Like people who are sensitive to energy can sense the energy that is attached to an object. Like sometimes I'm walking in the street and I see two exact same car, but one has an energy of like I'm too expensive, and one has the energy of like I'm showing off. And it's the same car, but it has an energy that's very different because the owner is using it and charging it with a different energy. And every place, every object is charged with the energy we're sending it to. So send positive energy to your body, to everything you own. The abundance hypnosis I've created has a part where we send love to everything, to what we have, what we own, who we are, the people we have, and that is what creates the abundance within yourself.
Beautiful. How can people find you? How can people contact you?
Well, it's pretty easy. Well, first there's Skool, of course. People, I believe that people who will see this recording, they will be on Skool in your community, so they can simply comment, "Hey, Asha, I'd love to have a chat with you," and I was super happy to have that chat with them. And if they don't want to have a chat with me directly, they can go find me on YouTube, where I'm sharing every session I'm doing with my clients. I'm recording them and uploading them on YouTube, because I do believe that people pay me so I can give this work to the world. And they investing into my capacity to share more with people. That's how I see it. So everything that I'm doing is being recorded and shared for free with everybody. So the people to whom I'm solving their problems, you can have what they receive too for free. Like this, I'm like feeling like I can give more. And
You are sent from heaven, absolutely, in this time. So thank you very much. Thank
we
you for
are
taking
all,
time. Yeah, we are.
yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, this was beautiful. This was really, really beautiful. Yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for what you do, who you are. And I'm so happy that you are a part of Beautiful Badass Souls, community, so people can really see you, really feel you, because this is also my intention, to show them what's possible. So it's like to make it easier, because it's like, oh my God, I don't have solution for that. Well, there's Asha. He can do some magic, and yeah, we can solve the problem. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is not the last time that we talk like this. Jan, Daniel, thank you for showing up, thank you for joining. Yeah, until next time. Until next time, keep on shining, all of you, and thank you.
Thank you, Anya. Have a good day, guys.
You
Thanks,
too.
Anya.
Bye.
Thanks, Asha. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.